Hello YouTube! I got another Commander deck tech for you today. This time it's mono black, Drana Kalastria Bloodchief. So, Drana the Commander is a 4/4 flyer for 5, and her ability is for X and 2 swamp. Target creature gets -X till end of turn, and Drana gets +X/+O. So, as well as being a removal spell, she could also swing in for lots of commander damage and just smash out opponents. Loads of fun. Okay, so for the land base, we have got basic swamps to start out with, and I believe we have 27 of them. Yes. So many basic swamps. There we are. 27 basic swamps. And for non-basic lands, 1 Shizo, Death's Storehouse. Helps give our commander evasion. Leechridden Swamp, just in those turns we have extra mana. Buried Ruin, speaks for itself, getting your artifacts back. Volrath Stronghold, gets your creatures back. Temple of the False God, just accelerates your mana. Thespian Stage helps you get another land that does super stuff. Want 2 Temple of the False Gods, or your opponent's got some cool land they have and you want to copy it? Sure. Strip Mine, destroy land. Tech Edge, see Strip Mine. Maze of Ith makes opponent's creatures that are attacking you untapped and deal no damage, but it can also double as like a pseudo vigilance giver, because if one of your creatures is attacking after the damage step, you can use Maze of Ith on it to untap it, since it was still technically an attacker after it dealt damage. Mystifying Maze, same kind of use as Maze of Ith, stops opponent's creatures from attacking you. Cabal Coffers, gets you tons of mana. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, combos with Cabal Coffers and makes all my other non-basic lands tap for black. Including it actually lets Maze of Ith tap for mana. Now we have our mana acceleration in the deck. Everything's ordered by mana cost. Mana Crypt, it's a 0-cost artifact, and it taps for 2 colorless mana. And at the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, it deals 3 damage to you. Everflowing Chalice. Sol Ring. Charcoal Diamond. Journeyer's Kite. Helps you never miss a land drop. Worn Power Stone, kind of a worse version of Sol Ring. Crypt Ghast, doubles all your swamp mana. And some people have claimed that you can't use Extort in mono black since it has a white symbol, but no, that white symbol, half white, half black, is in the reminder text. And reminder text doesn't count for commander, because, you know, some cards don't have reminder text, so it'd be weird if the cards with the reminder text for Extort could be used in commander, or could not, but the ones without could be. So, reminder text is just totally ignored. Solemn Simulacrum. Thran Dynamo. This one's great. Gilded Lotus, like Thran Dynamo makes colored mana. Caged Sun. I choose black to double my swamp mana and to give all my creatures a little boost. Now we're on to just normal artifacts. Sensei's Divining Top, great card advantage in library manipulation. Lightning Greaves, protecting my creatures. Foot Boots, see Lightning Greaves. Sword of Feast and Famine, This is great since my commander is swinging in a lot, and I have a lot of other fatties that I like to equip in, and I only have 1 or 2 creatures to board at a time, so I normally like to load them up, and this gives it pro black and green, and untapping all my lands lets me do multiple things per turn. Sword of Body in mind. It has equipped 2, and then equipped creature gets +2/+2 protection from green and from blue. And then whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player mills the top 10 cards of his or her library, and I put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield. Sword of Fire and Ice. Mimic that. Batterskull. This card's so good. Using the 3 to escape removal, and just loading up my creatures +4/+4 vigilance and lifelink. Mind's Eye. Massive card advantage. Staff of Nin. Card advantage once again, and can kill little small guys. Altar of Shadows is removal that can get past Iona because it's colorless, and after a while it can start paying for itself. Phyrexian Arena, more card advantage. This is enchantments, by the way. Knight of Soul's Betrayal stops pesky token decks as well as stopping like Pestermite, Kiki-Jiki combos and such. Polluted Bonds. This just gains me loads of life and does small amounts of damage to my opponent. I play mostly multiplayer, and that's why that card is just amazing. Enslave is stealing their creatures always good. And now we have the Recursion package. So we have Phyrexian Reclamation, Reanimate, Animate Dead. If the text is too small for you, put a creature from any graveyard onto the battlefield under my control. This becomes an enchant creature on it, and the enchanted creature gets -1 to its power. Necromancy. Necromancy is similar to Animate Dead, except it does not give -1 to the power. And also, I can play it at instant speed, but if I play it at any time other than my main phase, the enchanted creature is sacrificed at the end of the turn. So, this is pretty sweet. Beacon of Unrest. Taking their artifacts or creatures. And I can do it again since it shuffles back in. I actually only play 2 tutor cards, since I think tutors are a little bit unfun, since it can cause games to be the same every time, and Commander's supposed to be a fun format full of randomness and such. So, but it's kind of pointless to play black and not use any tutors, then you're just being at a disadvantage. So, Vampiric Tutor, any card for 2 life. And Demonic Tutor, any card. And here are some discard spells that we use to just clear opponents out of their hand totally. Mind Twist. They discard X cards at random. And Mind Shatter. They discard X cards at random. So we can just have them discard their whole hand most of the time, and then they're basically out of the game. And here are our removal spells. Black Sun Zenith. Ashes to Ashes. Exile 2 target creatures, non-artifact creatures. I lose 5 life. So this is great, taking out things like Avacyn, opposing commanders for only 3 mana. Slaughter. Just reusable removal. Damnation. Destroys all creatures. Lice Finale. Destroys all creatures and then gives me 3 creatures that I can reanimate out of their graveyard. Decree of Pain. Destroys all creatures while restocking my hand. Plague Wind. Destroy all creatures my opponents control. They cannot be regenerated. And now we're just on to other spells. Exsanguinate. It can gain me tons of life and possibly win the game. Liliana of the Dark Realms. So, Liliana is great. She helps you not miss your land drops when you have her out, and she can also double as a removal spell by her second ability, or her second ability can pump creatures, notably our commander, into a lethal damage. Promise of Power. Restocks our hand and can get us a big attacker. Soren Markov. In Commander, making your opponent's a life total 10 is absolutely devastating. Rise of the Dark Realms. If this resolves, it's normally a game winner. Now we're on to the creatures. Phyrexian Obliterator. Generally unblockable, since my opponents never want to block it. Or I can leave it back on defense and it deters them from attacking me. Oh, and do note, if they have like a 7/7 and I block the 7/7, they will sacrifice 7 permanents, not 5, since damage dealt to the creature can be more than its toughness. Bloodgift Demon generates me card advantage and can kill opponents if they're on low life, which is quite funny. Geth, Lord of the Vault, reanimates artifacts and creatures for me. Kokusho, the Evening Star, 5/5 flyer. When it dies, it gains me a bunch of life and deals damage to everybody else. Great with reanimation. Massacre Wurm absolutely punishes anybody playing small creatures. Nirkana Revenant doubles my mana, and I can boost it up to monstrously high power and toughness. Whoops. Visara the Dreadful, 5/5 flyer, and just spot removal for creatures. Lord of the Void. Basically, if he hits an opponent, it just stacks my board up with huge guys. And a 7/7 flyer is nothing to scoff at. Rune-Scarred Demon. Nice tutor. Especially great when I can put on Mimic Vat. Sepulchral Primordial. Helps reanimate opponent's creatures. Can get several at once. As well as itself having Intimidate, so it's pretty hard to block. Sheoldred the Whispering One. Reanimates my own creatures and removes my opponents. The Swamp Walk doesn't come into play too often, though. Although the Swamp Walk does work with Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, which is quite funny. Myojin of Night's Reach. I cast this. Of my opponent's next draw step after they draw, I remove the divinity counter and make each opponent discard their hand. And lastly is Pestilence Demon. I just keep using its ability up to 6 times to, well, 6 times kills the demon, so preferably up to 5, to destroy all of my opponent's creatures and never let them keep anything. Although notably, if I equip this guy with Sword of Feast and Famine, I can activate the ability as many times as I want, since he does have protection from himself. So, that is my Drana Kalastria Bloodchief Commander deck. I hope you liked it, and I'll be looking forward to seeing your guys' responses in the comments below. Oh, a card I have been considering is Black Market, so please leave your ideas including that card as well, because I'm still a little iffy on that. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.